When you're looking at buying the company, no matter how good it is, there's one thing you should not do if you're going to buy that business. And I'm going to share that with you in this video. A lot of times people will ask me, why do you buy businesses where you have the owners stay on? And the answer is really very simple. Now, I know this because I've acquired over 3,500 businesses. And in the beginning, I acquired one or two where the seller didn't stay on. And so I can tell you firsthand the difference between when an owner stays with the business and when they don't. And in fact, you don't buy businesses where the owners don't stay on to run them. When that owner leaves, the most valuable asset of that business just walked out the door. And you now own a business that is a shadow of the business you think you purchased. If the seller is not willing to stay on, I do not buy the business. There's a negative when the seller leaves, when they don't stay on to run the business after you buy it. And the challenge is that the company you have bought is not the same company that showed you all those beautiful financial statements, which was the reason that you buy it. Running a business successfully is not a happy accident. It happens because there's somebody at the helm who understands the industry, understands the business, knows that business inside and out, knows where its strengths and its weaknesses are, and has mastered the ability to orchestrate that entire process to success. There are two ways you own a business. One is you work in the business and you have very limited leverage. Or the other is you work on the business and create ways and structures and strategies that make it work at a much higher level and becomes much more valuable. The highest value of my time would not be spent working in the business. The highest value of my time is working on the business, strategizing, structuring ways for it to grow, and then having an owner who's already proven that they know how to run the business successfully, stay on and run it. Now, by the time they've run it for 4 or 5 years, we've had the ability to recruit, whether it's bringing someone up from within the organization or from outside the organization. We brought in somebody else who now has had the training and the grooming to take over the business at the level that the owner themselves had when they ran the business. So I never look at running the business, never. Okay, that is not the highest and best use of my time. The highest and best use of my time is in the orchestration of the growth process and relying on the people who are already building that business with my support to build it bigger and better in a transition period and a succession period so that the owner, as he transitions out, has already grown their success. One of the keys to keeping people staying on the business is how you structure the acquisition so they benefit when they stay on. Now, when we talk about having the seller stay on, part of that is going to be because they like the business, they got a few more years to go, and frankly, they'd like the idea to stay there for a few years, not have quite the same pressure that they had before. You've taken some chips off the table, they put some cash in their pocket, and they're staying on because they do like the business and they need to be busy until it's really time for them to retire. But that's not enough. That's not the full reason that they're going to stay on if you've done this right. You've done it right. You've structured the purchase so you don't buy the whole business from them at once. You buy 60%, 70%, maybe 80%, but you leave them owning at least 20. And then your story to them is how you're going to work with them to build up the company. So now the idea is when they sell their last 20% of the business, you'll have a formula that's part of your deal with them as to how you'll buy that 20% from them later on, and how the price you'll be paying for that will be based on the company's growth at that time. So now your seller is highly motivated to help you build the company so that their 20% when you buy them out in the final purchase is worth a lot more money. So you've made it not just an emotional reason for them to stay, you've made it a financial win for them to stay, and that's much more powerful. Now, if any of this makes sense to you, what I'd like to encourage you to do is to contact our team, because we have a program where we will literally do all of this for you. So you don't have to think it through on your own. You don't have to go through all the steps and the methods. What we will do is we will actually get it done for you. So if this makes sense, just go to the description below this video and follow the instructions. It'll put you in touch with one of our team members. And from there on, we'll answer your questions and hopefully we'll work together as partners and we'll get it done for you.